13. Rarest black people in the world. What if we told you there are people walking this earth so visually unique, so genetically rare, that the world couldn't believe their beauty was real, from piercing blue eyes in Nigerian children to the darkest skin ever recorded? These extraordinary black individuals have defied expectations and turned their differences into global inspiration. These aren't edited photos. They're real people rewriting the rules of representation. Get ready to witness the rarest and most jaw-dropping stories you've never seen. Hit that like button, subscribe to Legends of Black Excellence, and let's celebrate the brilliance of being unapologetically different. Lola Chuil. In 2016, the internet met a face it couldn't forget. Lola Chuil, a then 17-year-old high school student from New York who skyrocketed to fame when her mother posted a casual selfie that captured the world's imagination. With skin the color of onyx features that mirrored the precision of a doll and eyes that seemed to hold stories untold, Lola was instantly dubbed the Black Barbie and Black Hannah Montana. But her beauty, though captivating, was only the surface of her magnetic appeal. What truly set Lola apart was the effortless grace with which she merged aesthetics, intellect, and global awareness. Fluent in no fewer than 8 languages, including English, French, Spanish, Arabic, and several African dialects, Lola represented a modern cosmopolitan identity rarely seen in viral stars. Her linguistic skill, rooted in her diverse cultural heritage, positioned her not just as a model, but as a symbol of global connection and cross-cultural dialogue. Fans from around the world gravitated toward her social media pages, where she shared everything from fashion tips to philosophical musings. Unlike many overnight sensations who fade as quickly as they rise, Lola remained relevant by cultivating her platform with intention. She didn't just rely on looks, she used her influence to spark meaningful conversations about inclusivity, race, and representation. On her blog and Instagram, she tackled beauty standards, encouraged young women to love their natural skin, and challenged the narrow norms perpetuated by mainstream media. Her presence inspired girls who had never seen someone who looked like them, held up as a beauty icon. Lola's rise also drew the attention of elite photographers and fashion brands, though she remained selective about collaborations, valuing integrity over exposure. Her commitment to education was unwavering even as fame beckoned. At a time when many young influencers prioritized visibility, Lola prioritized voice, ensuring that what she said mattered as much as how she looked. Her parents, protective and grounded, were initially cautious of the spotlight, but remained supportive as long as she balanced fame with personal development. Lola, for her part, expressed an interest in pursuing acting and international activism. She hinted at one day creating a foundation for underrepresented youth in fashion and entertainment. Now considered a rising star with the poise of an industry veteran, Lola Chuil continues to evolve. Her rare combination of beauty, intellect, and purpose has made her more than just a viral phenomenon. She's become a quiet revolution, challenging the world to expand its definitions of elegance, intelligence, and what it truly means to stand out. Ralph Soué. Ralph Soué's journey from the poverty-stricken streets of Haiti to the bright lights of fashion runways is one of resilience, defiance, and self-acceptance. Born with a distinctive combination of freckles and vitiligo, Ralph's appearance was unlike anyone else in his community, a source of constant bullying and rejection during his formative years. Children laughed, strangers stared, even adults whispered. But what others saw as imperfections, Ralph would eventually reclaim as his greatest assets. Growing up, Ralph lived a life of uncertainty, unsure where his next meal might come from, or how he'd shield himself from daily ridicule. But through the darkness, he discovered light in physical fitness. The discipline of working out became his escape and eventually his empowerment. It was at a local park during one of his intense outdoor sessions that fate stepped in. A photographer named Aaron Taylor noticed him not for his differences, but for his undeniable presence. The two struck a friendship, and Aaron began mentoring Ralph, helping him navigate a path few believed he could walk, modeling. By 2015, Ralph's ethereal look, marked by his platinum skin tone, freckled face, and piercing gaze, began to capture attention beyond the lens of Aaron's camera. Agencies took notice, and Ralph was signed, launching a career that would soon challenge conventional norms in the fashion industry. His breakout moment came when he walked in the highly publicized Yeezy Season 3 show, where his unusual appearance didn't just turn heads, it made a statement. Despite his meteoric rise, Ralph never allowed fame to alter his core values. He remained deeply connected to his roots, often speaking about the emotional scars of growing up different and how they shaped his unshakable confidence today. Where once he hid his face in shame, Ralph now stands boldly in front of cameras, commanding attention, not with perfection, but with authenticity. More than a model, Ralph is now a symbol of inclusion, of the evolving definitions of beauty, and of the strength it takes to love yourself in a world that often demands you change. He's graced editorials, walked elite fashion shows, and inspired a new generation of young people who no longer want to conform. Ralph Sué is rare, not just in appearance but in spirit, proof that what once made you an outcast can one day make you unforgettable. Jare Ijalana. Jare Ijalana emerged onto the global stage in 2018, capturing hearts with her enchanting porcelain-like visage and striking blue eyes, a rarity among her peers. Born and raised in Nigeria, Jare was only 5 years old when a gifted photographer, Mofu Bamuyiwa, discovered her. In a series of framing portraits that juxtaposed her silky skin, full curly hair, and aqua eyes, Jar embodied both innocence and sophistication, a combination so arresting that her likeness became known as the real-life doll. Within days of Bamuyiwa sharing her images online, followers and fashion insiders alike were mesmerized. Her social media platforms quickly accumulated over 160,000 followers, drawn not only to her visual beauty, but also to the aura of authenticity she exuded. Unlike many young stars, Jare's ascent wasn't orchestrated through corporate campaigns. It was propelled by simple, organic admiration for her originality. Jar's rise offered transformation not only to her own family, but also to the perception of beauty across cultures. Alongside her sisters Joy and Joba, who themselves became models, Jare represented a new generation of diverse representation. Together, the sisters created a platform that celebrates natural features and cultural pride, grounded in the vibrant roots of their Nigerian heritage. Despite her youthful age, Jar displayed remarkable poise, balancing modeling work with challenges inherent in early fame. Her parents, while protective, recognized the opportunity to nurture her natural talents and passions. They ensured she remained grounded in education, maintaining a normal school life and time for play, even as brand offers began arriving. Though the majority of her contracts were in portrait and editorial spaces, Jare's presence spoke volumes beyond runways and photo shoots. She became a role model, especially to children of color, by representing visibility, confidence, and joy. Every image captured resonated as a celebration of individuality and self-love, encouraging others to embrace what makes them special. Over time, Jare's trajectory has evolved from global curiosity to cultural ambassador. Through her family's guidance, she's engaged in community projects that support arts and education for young girls in Nigeria. This emerging advocacy adds depth to her public image, illustrating how someone so young can inspire both admiration and action. Jare Ijalana is rare, not merely because of her aesthetics, but because she channels natural appeal into meaningful influence. In a world often chasing novelty, she represents the authentic enchantment of simply being herself. At 5, she has already shown that true beauty doesn't come from perfection, it blossoms from confidence, heritage, and heart. Meki Alante Lucky. In what can only be described as a stunning twist of fate, Meki Alante Lucky's life took an unexpected turn when a mugshot surfaced online in April 2016. At the time, he was grappling with legal troubles stemming from charges of theft and reckless driving in North Carolina. Yet instead of condemnation, the image featuring his striking mismatched eyes one cerulean and one deep brown, captured global attention. Social media users were struck by the dichotomy in his gaze, which ignited both fascination and opportunity. Within days, modeling agencies reached out. Mackey's high-contrast irises, an uncommon form of heterochromia, became his trademark. By August that same year, he had secured representation with Sinclair Model Management in Atlanta, marking the beginning of a swift pivot from legal woes to fashion world acclaim. Rather than being paralyzed by his past, Mackey embraced the attention as a doorway to transformation. He embarked on a journey of self-reinvention, immersing himself in runway training, editorial shoots, and brand partnerships. His raw charisma and unconventional beauty defied traditional modeling molds. Mackey featured prominently in campaigns, photo editorials, and magazine spreads, often portrayed with dramatic lighting to accentuate his dual-colored eyes. His face became synonymous with a new era of inclusivity, showing that captivating visuals can eclipse conventional standards. Off-camera, Mackey maintained humility and authenticity. He spoke candidly in interviews about his prior mistakes and the lessons they taught him. By sharing his story of redemption, he inspired a generation who believe mistakes need not define one's future. Despite his burgeoning popularity, he invested time in grounding himself, staying connected to local mentors in North Carolina, who emphasized discipline, education, and purpose. His journey became more than modeling. It was a narrative of reinvention, resilience, and hope. Success followed swiftly. Mackey walked runways in Atlanta and New York, appeared in digital editorials, and garnered a growing fan base drawn by both his magnetic look and candid persona. He also collaborated with charitable events, offering youth workshops on self-esteem and second chances. Years after that viral photo, Mackey Alante Lucky remains a testament to transformation. His story is an invitation to redefine what shapes a person's identity. From the flash of legal adversity to the dazzle of studio lights, Mackey has crafted a narrative rich in renewal. His mismatched eyes remain unmistakable, but it's his spirit, resilient, transparent, and unapologetically himself, that truly stands out. In him, we find proof that life's most unexpected moments can serve as catalysts for greatness. Nyakem Gatwech. Nyakem Gatwech, born in what is now South Sudan, has transcended conventional beauty standards and become one of the most powerful voices in fashion today. Nicknamed Queen of the Dark on social media, her skin tone, deep, rich, and luminous, earned her a place in the Guinness World Records as having the darkest skin complexion, solidifying her as a living testament to the beauty of melanin. Growing up, Nyakem endured taunting and body shaming. Schoolmates mocked her unyielding darkness, urging her to lighten her skin. Families, doctors, and distant relatives told her she was too dark to be considered beautiful. Yet those words, instead of diminishing her, fueled an inner revolution. She began to view her complexion not as a curse, but as a royal crown, a source of pride and power. Her journey from anonymous teenager to global icon began on Instagram, where she shared bold portraits that showcased her radiant smile, regal posture, and unapologetic confidence. The internet responded. She garnered over 1 million followers, and her images trended globally, landing her impactful collaborations with major brands like Calvin Klein, Fashion Nova, Aldo, and Sephora. Magazines and platforms praising her include Vogue and Essence, highlighting not just her beauty, but her impact on race and self-love. Beyond photo shoots, Nyakem has used her platform to advocate for self-love, mental health, and diversity. She speaks candidly about the importance of representation, how crucial it is for young people of color to see themselves reflected, celebrated, and empowered. In interviews and on stage, she frequently says, "Light skin has no corner on the market of beauty. I want to show that dark skin is luxury." Her words resonate deeply, especially in societies where colorism and Eurocentric standards still dominate. Nyakem also empowers through education. She participates in workshops aimed at youth, teaching them positive self-image and body positivity. Engaging with fans worldwide, she encourages them to resist societal pressure to conform, reminding them that each shade of skin carries beauty, history, and value. Despite her rapid rise, she remains intimately connected to her roots. Nia Kim draws strength from her South Sudanese heritage, often wearing traditional fabrics and jewelry in her photographs. This melding of modern style and ancestral pride creates a timeless aesthetic one that celebrates continuity between her origin and her current stature on a global stage. Today, Nia Kim Gatwech stands not just as a model, but as a cultural ambassador, trailblazer, and voice of empowerment. Her influence surpasses runway appearances or magazine spreads. It's in the millions of affirmations she inspires every time she declares her love for her natural shade. She's proof that our differences aren't flaws to fix, but treasures to celebrate, and that true beauty stems from the courage to accept oneself fully. Ducky Thought. Born Nyadak Thought in 1995 to South Sudanese refugee parents in Melbourne, Australia, Ducky Thought carved an unlikely path from suburban streets to the highest fashion echelons. Growing up, she seldom saw dark-skinned women represented in magazines or media. This absence fueled a determination to reclaim visibility, an ambition that would eventually become her trademark. Ducky's route to prominence began with Australia's Next Top Model Season 8 in 2016. Although she didn't win the competition, her presence was magnetic, dark, glowing skin, defined bone structure, and an inner confidence that defied stereotypes in the Australian fashion world. Her performance captured public interest, and she quickly became a household name in her country. In 2016, Ducky made the bold move to New York, hoping for greater representation. There, she signed with Vision Model Management and later with Kanye West's agency. Her major breakthrough came when she walked exclusively in the Yeezy Spring-Summer show in 2017. Moments later, she drew global attention walking for Fenty during New York Fashion Week, becoming one of the first models to represent Rihanna's groundbreaking luxury label. Her trajectory continued upward. She graced covers and editorials for magazines like Vogue Italia and Teen Vogue, walked for high-profile designers, including Moschino and Oscar de la Renta, and made historic appearances in both the Victoria's Secret fashion show and Rihanna's Savage X Fenty showcase in 2018. Ducky's runway presence is marked by her tall, elegant frame, striking features, and an aura that blends strength with elegance. Beyond catwalks, Ducky has channeled her platform into advocacy. She speaks passionately about the need for diversity in fashion, particularly highlighting the experiences of women of African descent. She collaborates with youth mentoring programs in Melbourne, sharing her story as a bridge between image and reality, demonstrating how ambition and authenticity can redefine industry norms. Despite fame, she holds her family values close. She credits her parents' resilience surviving Civil War displacement and resettlement for giving her the unshakable foundation necessary to thrive under global scrutiny. In interviews, she often describes modeling not as escape, but as extension, honoring her heritage while forging a new path. Off-duty. Ducky lives a multi-dimensional life. She has delved into styling, musical expression, and personal branding. She's spoken about exploring acting and creative design. Although her modeling career remains at the forefront, her identity spans art activism and entrepreneurship. Today, Ducky Thought stands as a beacon of possibility. From Melbourne's quiet streets to fashion capitals worldwide, her career challenges one-dimensional tropes and inspires change. She illustrates that visibility isn't just about being seen, it's about being understood, represented, and unapologetically yourself. Adut Akech. Adut Akech's story begins far from the world of high fashion in the dusty plains of Kakuma refugee camp, Kenya. Born in 1999 in what is now South Sudan, Adut faced life's harsh realities early on. Her family was displaced by conflict, and for years she lived in a crowded camp with limited resources and uncertainty. It was in this environment that her quiet resilience was forged long before she stepped into any spotlight. Adut's modeling journey began around the age of 13 or 14 in Australia, where she had resettled with her family. Talent scouts recognized her striking features, an arresting gaze, graceful stature, and skin that seemed to glow against any backdrop. But it wasn't just her beauty that caught attention. It was her dignity and poise traits that seemed cultivated by her early challenges. She signed with Saint Laurent early in her career, and in 2016 walked the runway for their debut show under the brand's new leadership. It was a pivotal moment, signaling her arrival in the heart of haute couture. The pinnacle came in 2018 when Adut became the first black woman to close a Chanel couture show. Clad in a sky blue gown that contrasted stunningly with her skin tone, she moved down the runway with grace and power, a moment echoed by fashion critics around the world. Beyond Chanel, she has since walked and posed for illustrious names like Valentino Versace, Moschino Dior, and Fendi, reinforcing her status as a muse for luxury fashion houses. Yet Adut's ambition extends beyond walkways and photo shoots. She uses her public platform to advocate for displaced communities. In collaboration with the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees (UNHCR), she shares her own journey of flight and resettlement, encouraging empathy and support for refugees globally. She's spoken repeatedly about how her upbringing instilled an urgency to give back, and has helped raise funds for education projects aimed at girls affected by war. Despite her rapid ascent, Adut remains grounded. She is known for her calm disposition and genuine awareness in interviews, speaking not like someone elevated by fame, but someone shaped by circumstance. She credits her family's sacrifices and her time in Kakuma for her sense of purpose and compassion. In every campaign, in every centerfold or runway appearance, Adut Akech carries a world of stories. She stands not only as a fashion icon, but as a testament to human endurance. From a refugee camp to the red carpets of Paris, her journey illustrates that tragedy can seed triumph, and that voices born in adversity have the power to echo across the globe. Slick Woods. Simone Thompson, known globally as Slick Woods, redefined mainstream beauty through sheer defiance of convention. Born in 1996 in Minneapolis and raised by her grandmother after her mother's incarceration, she endured a childhood shadowed by instability. At just 4 years old, she lost her mother to prison and by her teens faced homelessness in Los Angeles. Yet it was in this marginal space that Slick forged her raw authenticity and grit. Her breakthrough came in 2015, thanks to a chance meeting with British model Ash Stymister in LA. He introduced her to photographer Dave Mashonga, whose iconic shots caught the eye of Kanye West. Slick made her fashion debut in the Yeezy Season 2 lookbook, her bald head, gap-toothed grin, and tattooed skin blazing across runways with an unapologetic presence. She rejected plasticity, embracing features many models fear to show, ushering in a new wave of diversity and visual storytelling. In 2017, her career exploded when Rihanna invited her to walk in the Savage X Fenty lingerie show. On stage, Slick radiated confidence. Offstage, she captivated with charm and candor. She has since appeared in campaigns for Fenty Beauty, Calvin Klein Moschino, and graced magazine covers. Her authenticity, as outspoken as her style, empowers others to defy norms and embrace lived realities. But Slick's story took another turn in 2019 when she was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. During treatment, she became an unvarnished voice for health awareness and body acceptance. Despite suffering nerve damage that affected her mobility, she maintained her platform, sharing vulnerability to destigmatize illness and highlighting the connection between mental and physical health. Her transparency about marijuana use used for pain relief sparked controversy, and some brands distanced themselves. But for many fans, that unfiltered honesty reinforced her authenticity. She's proof that imperfections, when embraced, become power. Beyond modeling, Slick is channeling her energy into acting and entrepreneurship. Whether planting herself in front of the camera or behind it in creative projects, she remains committed to disrupting expectations. She has also spoken about pursuing educational opportunities to deepen her impact. Slick Woods is more than a face. She is a movement. She defied industry pressures and personal hardships alike, transforming them into symbols of empowerment. Her journey reminds the world beauty is raw, resilience is real, and true influence comes from living boldly, mess and all. Jalicia Nightingale. Jalicia Nightingale's story begins in Barbados, where she was born with an exceptionally rare trait: natural bright blue eyes, a combination seldom seen among people of African descent. From an early age, her striking eyes set her apart. While many peers envied her unique appearance, Jalicia became a target for cruelty and misunderstanding. Classmates called her a unicorn, and the attention quickly turned to relentless ridicule. By age 12, the ridicule had grown so unbearable that she began to shield herself from the world, hiding her eyes beneath her older siblings' arms to avoid stares and whispers. That early pain ignited a fierce determination in Jalicia. At age 18, she made a life-changing move, relocating to Switzerland to support her partner's work opportunity. This shift opened doors she never imagined. Europe's exposure to fashion and beauty industries brought her opportunities to explore modeling. Jalicia started submitting photos to agencies, and soon she found herself entering and winning a major European modeling contest. This victory marked a dramatic turnaround from her bullied adolescence to a career of promise and recognition. Now based in London, Jalicia has secured representation with reputable agencies and has earned contracts that command between $15,000 and $25,000 per engagement. Her annual earnings range from approximately $32,000 to $48,000, testament to the market's strong interest in her distinctive look. Campaigns, editorials, and runway appearances have followed, each spotlighting her eyes and enigmatic persona. Fashion editors often praise not just her visual uniqueness, but the emotional depth she carries into every shoot, a blend of confidence and vulnerability that many find mesmerizing. Driven by an ambition to transcend modeling, Jalicia is actively preparing to expand into acting. She's enrolled in workshops and preparing audition materials. The transition isn't just about evolving her portfolio, it's deeply personal. For Jalicia, the screen represents a platform to amplify her message, embracing one's individuality despite societal pressure. Her journey from a bullied child to an emerging actress fuels her desire to inspire others to find strength in their differences. Family remains a pillar of support. Though fame took her far from Barbados, Jalicia frequently credits her siblings for giving her refuge during her darkest moments. They remain her confidants, grounding her life amidst the glamour of London's fashion scene. She's also begun mentoring young models in London, especially those with atypical features, offering guidance on professionalism, self-care, and resilience. Jalicia Nightingale embodies transformation. Through her extraordinary eyes, she bridged the divide between ridicule and empowerment. Her career not only celebrates an unconventional beauty, but also validates a universal truth. Our uniqueness, once hidden in shame, can become our most profound power. As she takes steps toward acting and broader influence, her vision remains clear: encourage others to own what makes them different, and to let authenticity light their way. Nikia Phoenix. Nikia Phoenix has transformed what was once a personal insecurity into a defining mark of empowerment. Born in the United States in 1980, she grew up with numerous freckles scattered across her cheeks and nose, features she initially felt compelled to conceal. As a teenager, they made her stand out in ways that drew teasing and discomfort. Yet through her struggle with self-image, Nikia found a guiding purpose to celebrate and redefine beauty standards from within her own reflection. By the time she reached her 20s, Nikia embraced her freckles as unique artistry rather than flaws. This shift fueled the creation of her inspirational digital project, Black Girl Beautiful. With heartfelt essays, powerful photography, and candid conversations, the initiative declared a collective rallying cry: every shade, every texture, every freckle belonged in the spotlight. The platform drew attention from within and beyond her community, carving a space for skin positivity and cultural pride. Nikia didn't wait for opportunity, she created it. Once discovered by alternative apparel representatives in a cafe, she transitioned to modeling for high-profile brands such as Coca-Cola and Target. These campaigns showcased both her freckles and ethos, tapping into a growing demand for real narratives in commercial spaces. She quickly became known not only for her striking look, but for a presence that signaled confidence and authenticity. Parallel to her modeling success, Nikia evolved into a respected voice for mental health and self-care. She contributes to panels and workshops where she discusses overcoming self-doubt, the role of representation, and the healing potential of self-love. Her message is rooted in reality. Transformation isn't about achieving perfection, it's about embracing ourselves, flaws and all, maintaining close ties to her roots. Nikia collaborates with fellow creators, photographers and activists of color, nurturing a community focused on inclusion. In interviews and public addresses, she often emphasizes intersectionality, how issues such as mental health, racial identity, and body image overlap. Her breakthrough with Black Girl Beautiful has inspired other diverse campaigns that speak unabashedly to the power of authenticity. As a fashion trailblazer, Nikia's portfolio includes magazine editorials and brand partnerships that prize genuine expression. She continues to develop her activism online and offline, using her platform to push industries toward inclusive hiring, equitable representation, and accessible beauty standards. Nikia Phoenix stands as a living testament to metamorphosis, from hiding freckles to founding a movement. With each step on camera, behind a microphone, or in her day-to-day reflection, she challenges perceptions and empowers others to rewrite their own beauty narratives. Her journey celebrates the transformative power of self-acceptance and offers a collective reminder. Uniqueness isn't a detour from beauty, but its very foundation. Winnie Harlow. At just 4 years old, Chantel Brown Young noticed the first sign of vitiligo, a condition leaving patches of depigmented skin. Raised in Toronto, she faced teasing and confusion from peers who didn't understand her appearance. Carrying shame and isolation into her teens, she would cover her face and avoid mirrors. But the same condition that once made her feel like an outsider propelled her into the spotlight. Winnie embraced visibility by turning to social media, posting transformative makeup tutorials that revealed and celebrated her unique skin pattern. Her confidence caught the eye of Tyra Banks, earning her an invitation to season 21 of America's Next Top Model in 2014, the first woman in the show's history living with vitiligo. Though she didn't win, her charisma and fierce empowerment became impossible to ignore. Following the show, opportunities poured in, walking for global brands Dior, Fendi, and Victoria's Secret, fronting campaigns for major fashion houses, earning over 10 million Instagram followers, and landing a prominent spot on Time's list of the world's 100 most influential people. Each appearance, each frame served as a statement, not a concession for her identity. But it's not just her modeling resume that makes Winnie remarkable. She's an outspoken advocate. She's given talks on overcoming fear, combating colorism, and challenging unstable beauty norms. In interviews, she often shares that her modeling isn't just about aesthetics. It's about representation, visibility, and giving permission to those who once feared they wouldn't be seen. When young people message her saying, "Thank God you exist," she replies, "That's my job." Off the runway, Winnie explores design and entrepreneurship. She's collaborated on limited edition collections with her favorite designers and is pursuing her own beauty brand rooted in inclusivity. Eclipsing stereotypes with every stride, her story still grounds her. She often pauses during red carpet events to reconnect with fans, reminding them that her journey began not under spotlights but in the quiet chambers of self-doubt. Today, Winnie Harlow stands as one of fashion's most influential figures, not because of flawless skin, but because of the depth of her courage. She transformed what once made her feel broken into a beacon of representation. In doing so, she reminded the world that beauty isn't the absence of difference. It's the presence of confidence, resilience, and truth. Namachi Ihegbaro. Born in 2010 in the UK to Nigerian parents. Ben and Angela Ihegboro, Namachi arrived in this world with porcelain-like skin, honey-golden curls, and cerulean blue eyes, traits that took everyone by surprise given her lineage. Early speculation ran rampant. Was she adopted? Did her father doubt paternity? Her parents both dark-skinned and proud. Nigerians calmly affirmed she was their biological daughter. Medical experts later confirmed her distinctive features were not signs of albinism, but an extraordinary genetic combination, a spontaneous expression of recessive traits reappearing. Her debut became a quiet sensation in Nigeria and beyond. But instead of becoming a viral curiosity, Namachi's parents took a protective stance. They limited media exposure, prioritized her schoolwork, and emphasized normalcy. For them, she was a child first, a subject of fascination second. They resisted sensational headlines and kept her environment grounded. But wherever she appeared, Namachi sparked intrigue and provided an opportunity for scientific conversations. Genetics experts highlighted her case as a teaching moment, demonstrating how complex inheritance can resurface traits long dormant in ancestral DNA. She illustrated how genetic diversity within human populations is more extensive than is commonly realized. Despite her unique appearance, Namachi grew up shielded from undue attention. By her teens, she had participated in a few photo sessions, supporting educational and health organizations, but no large-scale modeling or media contracts. She spent her days playing with friends, mastering school subjects, and simply being a teenager just like any other, but with a surprising reflection staring back at her in the mirror. Today, as the buzz has softened into everyday life, Namachi represents something deeper than novelty. She is living proof that biology is beautifully unpredictable and that identity cannot be simplified to appearance alone. In quiet wonder, her story debates what is known and what is possible. It reminds us that human existence carries intricate surprises, sometimes sitting within our own DNA, and that true beauty lies in the unfolding mystery of our origins. Khoudia Diop. Khoudia Diop's radiant presence and rich, deep black skin captured global attention and inspired a movement that redefined beauty standards. Born in Dakar, Senegal, on December 31, 1996, she moved to Paris at just 15, carrying not only dreams, but also the confidence and challenges of being noticeably darker than many peers, a complexion often overlooked in mainstream fashion. Khoudia's early years in France were marked by a struggle for acceptance. In school, classmates often directed unkind remarks toward her dark tone, pressuring her to brighten up both emotionally and physically. Instead of letting those comments erode her self-worth, she leaned into her uniqueness. That choice would transform her path from a place of self-doubt to one of global influence. Her defining moment came when a photographer captivated by her profound complexion and striking features shared portraits online. The images went viral, earning her the nickname Melanin Goddess. What began as admiration spread quickly. Brands, magazines, and followers embraced her bold and unapologetic presence. Within a year, her social media following grew into the hundreds of thousands, a powerful platform from which she advocates cultural pride and confronts colorism head-on. Khoudia's message centers on the idea that deeper skin tones are not only beautiful, but powerful. Through interviews and speeches, she confronts societal bias, explaining how historically dark complexions are often associated with negativity. She challenges these outdated views by embodying confidence that cannot be ignored. In her words, "My skin is not a flaw, it's my crown." More than a slogan, it's a daily commitment. In fashion, she has graced major campaigns and runway shows representing both conventional and avant-garde brands. Her presence on set influences choices from makeup to lighting, prompting stylists to adjust palettes and products to honor her richness. These changes mark subtle yet meaningful shifts in an industry long criticized for erasing darker-skinned beauty. Beyond modeling, Khoudia has expanded into music and creative expression. She has dropped singles infused with themes of empowerment and penned poetry celebrating daughterhood of Africa. She's also collaborated on workshops and mentorship programs in Paris and Dakar, inspiring young women of color to embrace their identities. She remains active online, hosting live streams on self-love and leading hashtag campaigns where users proudly share their own skin tones. Celebratory events, photo shoots, and personal milestones are all shared with heartfelt captions that speak directly to those struggling with identity and reach those uninterested in beauty standards altogether. Koudia Diop embodies transformation from an adolescent hearing whispers about her skin to a global icon who redefines it. She demonstrates that beauty lies not in conformity, but in the courage to declare yourself as you are. Her influence is measured not just in followers, but in the countless individuals who now see themselves celebrated in her image. In every photo runway appearance or heartfelt address, Koudia shines and reminds the world where true beauty begins in bold authenticity. From viral sensations to groundbreaking fashion icons, these 13 rare Black individuals have shattered stereotypes and expanded the world's understanding of beauty, identity, and resilience. Each story is a powerful reminder that what makes us different is often what makes us unforgettable. But what do you think? Should society celebrate these rare traits more openly, or are we still trapped in outdated beauty ideals? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on Legends of Black Excellence as we continue to honor the stories that the world too often overlooks.